He has the unique ability to understand students' needs, but also be understanding of the challenges the adults who work with those students face.
You can go to a lot of types of conferences and hear fantastic speakers. People from all walks of life, everyone from Fortune 500 CEOs or like famous authors, or heck, I remember I even heard like Michelle Obama speak at the ASCA conference a bunch of years back. I've heard magicians, archers, Navy SEALs. I just feel like with the unique stresses and the unique situations that educators are in year after year that really like nobody else knows about or understands, they need something different. Not like a whole different experience, but they need somebody who understands the grind of education. So to understand how space shuttles work, you have to understand a term that's called MaxQ. Now let me explain to you MaxQ and how it works. Right? MaxQ is the most critical point in any space flight. When a space shuttle takes off, it starts to gain speed, obviously, and it gets faster and faster and faster. And as it keeps going faster, more pressure, it hits the wings, it hits the body of the spaceship, and the closer it gets to leaving the atmosphere, the more pressure builds up. So from an aerodynamic standpoint, the people that build spaceships really have to get it right. As a matter of fact, all of the engineers, all they do is they focus on this MaxQ moment, because when that MaxQ moment hits and all of that pressure builds, two things could happen. One, it goes and it keeps going, and then it goes 17,000 miles an hour and it gets through the atmosphere. Or the other thing that happens in this super pressure-filled moment, if they don't calculate it exactly correctly, when that MaxQ moment hits, and I think the same is true in life, isn't it? Is that for so many of us, no matter where you are right now, you have so much pressure in your life, don't you? They need a specific kind of talk that really just re-energizes them, that gives them hope, that makes them optimistic. And here's what I think is going to happen once we start to make that shift. Is I think people are going to start taking notice. I think our parents and our communities are going to start being more appreciative of everything that we're doing. I think our students are going to be more appreciative that we look at them beyond their test scores and for who they are. I think behaviors are going to start getting better with our students and our colleagues. And I think that when we look back, we are going to be happier, healthier, and higher performing than we ever imagined. Not only am I a former educator, but I'm also a former Toastmasters International Speaker of the Year. So when those two things combine, I have a fantastic interactive experience for educators that is spot on. So my talks are all multi-sensory, which essentially means that I try to engage as many of the attendees' senses as possible. I use stuff like catch boxes, which are essentially throwable microphones that allow me to interact with the audience.
I think what makes Jeff such a great communicator is his ability to pull the audience in. It's definitely not a one-way street. He asks questions to get the audience involved. He has a wonderful sense of humor, has a way of connecting with his audience.
My platform is obviously education, but more specifically, this idea of how to flip a school upside down. And essentially what I mean by that is that most schools and communities are hyper-focused on academic achievement and test scores, and they're performance paradigmed. But the schools that are actually focused on non-academics are the schools that are winning. So how do we go from performance paradigm, or people that are just fried and burnt and tired, to a place that's people-centric? And so I have two goals. When the attendees leave your conference, I want them to talk to their colleagues and other people about how awesome the conference was. I want them to talk online on social media and say, man, that was an amazing conference. You have to go next year. And also, I want you, the conference organizer, to say, man, I'm glad we hired that guy. And I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be here for the beginning of it. Thank you so much. I'm Jeff Becker.